Good evening, everyone. Adequate public notice of this meeting was provided by the Secretary of the Board on May 17, 2017 to the Home News, Tribune, and the Clerk of the City of New Brunswick. The time and location of this meeting and all meetings of this body are posted in City Hall, 78 Barry Street, New Brunswick. Roll call, Mr. General.
Mr. Hush. Here. Mrs. Sadowski. Mrs. Seawood. Here. Mrs. Shukaitis. Mrs. Solis. Mr. Spencer. Here. Ms. Varela. Here. Ms. Ortiz.
Here.
Mr. Caldwell is excused. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. General. The flag salute by Dr. Johnson to lead us.
Ready to salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reminder, the next regular Board of Education meeting will be held on Tuesday, October 17, 2017, beginning at 7 o'clock p.m. in New Brunswick High School auditorium. We have a presentation, item number 3, by Dr. Johnson on the New Jersey School Boards Association Award.
I'll pass for the next board meeting.
Okay. Dr. Johnson will pass for that presentation until the next board meeting. We'll go to item 4, the minutes.
Can you say something, Mr.
Okay.
President?
Go ahead.
Yes, good evening. Just want to briefly just say a couple things. Just want to say that I'm really impressed and proud of the way the school district opened this year, and I cannot take any credit for that. I think it's the work of the teachers, the administrators, the families, and the students. We had a very successful opening overall, and I again want to thank everyone that really worked hard this summer in preparation, planning, building strategies for our students and our families, and I'm very pleased for the 17-18 school year. In addition, what's more so enlightening is that we have started to take an approach where we really want to take a listen and listen to the voices of our students in terms of what they believe they need to be successful as learners. And a lot of times in the education system, we always tend to come up with solutions, believing that we can improve student achievement or fix some of our problems. But not many times we listen or include our students in that conversation. And our team this year, our principals, leading some very profound PD with their staff this year, and the staff really taking hold of this and incorporating and listening to the voices of our students to make their learning more personal is something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around because the impact has been monumental. But I do want to recognize one of our board members here, our student board member, Ms. Susan Badea, who had the opportunity to speak in the summertime to our administrators. And she shared with our administrators what she truly believed was important for her and her classmates. And she did not just speak solely of her, she spoke for all her classmates. As a senior here in New Brunswick, she has gone through all grades, and she's probably experienced and seen it all. And to listen to her and to listen to her critique, to listen to her ideas, I think the administrators really felt connected. But, sometimes you have to challenge our young minds, and I challenged Ms. Padilla because she did such a wonderful job. And I said, well, how do you feel about talking in front of 1,000 teachers? And she's no sweat off my back, Mr. Johnson went. So we invited her to opening night where this auditorium was filled with teachers from New Brunswick and staff members, and she stood up in front of everyone and told her story, told her voice. We heard her voice. She spoke about what teachers need to do. She praised teachers for what they have done, but also gave them some strategies to open doors for other kids. And I think that that's really what we're about. So I personally want to thank you The principals and myself would like to thank you for that, because I think you're going to make our jobs a lot easier. So together, we put together a little frame for you. And if you can't see this, this is a frame of her. We're talking to the entire teaching staff with a standing ovation. So you can take this with you, okay? And again, thank you very much. That's my conclusion, Mr. President.
Okay, and this board will look forward to working with Ms. Badia for the whole school year. So you'll have a lot of conversations between board members. They'll approach you, and you can give your ideas to us too. Okay, moving along. Item number 4 is the minutes of August 15, 2017, monthly board meeting. Can I get a motion to approve? We have a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Mr. John?
Mr. Hush.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela. Ms. Ortiz.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you, sir. Item number 5 is the superintendent's report. Dr. Albert Johnson.
I think you just heard it, Mr. President.
Okay, very good. Nothing more to say. You have HIP.
Not for the month of September, we always in our school just started, so that's for October we will put out.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Now we'll have our student representative, as she was introduced to everyone out here today, Ms. Susan Badia.
September has been quite the month at New Brunswick High School. While it's still not over, students, including freshmen, have actually found their way around our building with no difficulty. This year, our building holds 1,968 students with 699 freshmen, that being a very large number. Freshman students were guided within the building by upperclassmen, security guards, and teachers. Teachers, in fact, made themselves available by standing outside their rooms, offering help when necessary, and doing it with a smile, like always. The halls, while they do feel crowded, get empty as soon as the bell rings for class. And as a student observer, it is only right to say that our students are making it to class on time and in an orderly fashion. In terms of academics, this year we welcomed about 15 new teachers, as well as Ms. Jenkins-Triggs, our new guidance counselor. The iSTEAM Academy is our newest addition to the high school. So it's a newly developed academy that inspires the integration, hence the iSTEAM of all content, including science, technology, English, art, and math. iSTEAM classes are clustered in one area of the school, allows for student collaboration within and outside of the traditional classroom. Teachers working within the academy, they actually work closely with one another, ensuring that they follow content criteria and meet the needs of their students in terms of knowledge. Students are expected to collaborate with one another, and learning and mastery will be measured by the use of our traditional project-based assignments. We also have another addition. It's called the Sprint 1 Million Project, and it is a grant-based program funded by Sprint. During the first phase of this project, students who return survey forms will receive a device that will allow them to have internet access outside of the high school. So this will be very beneficial for our students that don't really get that internet access outside of the building. The purpose of the device is to assist students who might not have really the ability to search online or do homework or do projects at home. In fact, our very own teacher and senior class advisor, Ms. Garino, initiated the grant, bringing it to the attention of the technology department and also writing it in its majority. We would like to extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation for her amazing efforts in helping our students thrive. As a result, these devices will be distributed starting next week. In terms of student activities, 20 new senior peer leaders have been chosen to lead and guide our freshmen for the upcoming school year. Peer leaders are a selected group of senior students that guide the freshmen coming in to decrease that amount of anxiety, being scared of presenting themselves in a new building. They will be helping out during our back to school night as well. Class elections have been held for the majority of all our class clubs, so that is back up and running, and our students are ready to fundraise and make their classes memorable as they can. And all clubs should also be starting back up soon if they have not already. In terms of sports, sports such as cross country, soccer, volleyball, tennis, and football have started back up again, each week bringing in a new competitor for every team. The New Brunswick High School football team will have their first home game this Friday, the 22nd, against Sayreville. Please come out and support our boys. And in terms of volunteering, students have continued to work Rutgers concession stands for fundraising, as they did last year and the year before. Upcoming Rutgers football games and future wrestling matches will have several stands ran by our very own students. So this concludes the student liaison report for September 2017. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that report. We'll move on now to item 7, which is the Facilities Committee report. Mr. Edward Spencer.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've had the whole summer to address the various work that was done throughout the school district. I'm going to list the schools that we did work on during the summer. Lincoln Elementary School, the contractor completed painting projects throughout the building, including interior walls and doors. Lincoln Adams School, contractors installed new drainage in the parking lot. Plumbing staff installed new sump pump system for the outside of the building. Sprinkler work is complete and has been inspected for the walkway of the building. Lord Sterling Community School, contractors repaired and placed gym floor, which was damaged from storm drain being inside gym wall. All work is complete. McKinley School, K-Center, contractor replaced carpet in the library. Paul Robeson Community School for the Arts, ongoing construction meetings are being held at the school job site. The Brunswick High School, contractor completed restriping of parking lot area. District-wide, summer cleaning, summer painting, annual boiler inspections are currently in progress for all schools throughout the district. Working with Onyx Renewable Partners, LP, to design and install additional solar panels, roof-mounted, and parking lot system. Completed year extinguishers, kitchen hood, sprinkler inspections, PD training for custodians, water testing. The last 4 water locations have been retested. I'm going to go verbatim what we have on the website. On June 27th and 28th, we conducted our latest round of testing on total of 260 drinking water sources, water fountains, as well as kitchen, food prep equipment, ice machines, sinks, and all our schools. After evaluating our 216 tests, and with input from school staff about additional locations that could potentially be used as portable water, we added additional sources to this year's sampling. The official results are extremely positive. Of these 260 sources, only the 4 listed below showing readings above acceptable limits. Each of these 4 sources were immediately removed from service and will be remediated as quickly as possible. Then they'll be retested and will not return to service until acceptable readings are recorded. The following are the schools: McKinley, kitchen sink, 5S02, Lincoln, room 108, a sink bubbler, Woodrow Wilson, hall by room 21, water cooler, middle school, hall by room 57, water cooler. The complete and most up-to-date lead testing report is available by accessing the New Brunswick Public School website. Our consistent attention to the district's drinking water highlights our commitment to the health of our students and everyone else who consumes water in our schools. We will continue testing our water sources on an ongoing basis despite state regulations requiring a testing only once every 6 years. It's also important to note that children are far more likely to come in contact with lead at home than they are at their school. If you have concerns, I recommend you discuss the risk of lead poisoning with your healthcare provider. And that was by Dr. Aubrey A. Johnson. That concludes my report.
Okay, anything that needs to be voted on?
No.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Spencer. Policy Committee report. Policy Committee did not meet for the month of September. We did have a couple of policies to review, but we're going to add them to next month's policies and report at that time. Number 9 is the Athletic Committee report. Mr. Ron Hush.
Yes, I'm voting to accept bank reconciliation.
I got a second?
Second.
Mr. Hush,
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood, Mr. Spencer,
Yes.
Ms. Varela, Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item number 10 is the Curriculum Committee report. The Curriculum Committee met on the 12th, and we had a presentation by Ms. Mammon on early literacy summer program, and the purpose is to provide an intensive reading intervention to students entering grades 1 to 3 who are significantly below the level in reading. This provides the opportunity to close instructional gaps and promote student achievement. We started this as a summer program. At the end of the 4 weeks summer program, 233 of the 360 students, or 64.7% of those who participated, were reading at or above grade level. Now, this is a great program for our younger kids. It shows the initiative between the community, parents, and stakeholders in the district to get our kids into a third grade reading level, because that's where the testing starts, and we need to keep them at that level. Our initiative and our hope is that we increase, because we have 360 children come out. We hope to increase that greatly by interacting more with the parents in the community and getting them to bring their children in and sign in, so we can get. We also have partnerships with the library to also work with our kids during the summer. So this is a very great program, and I'm glad that we have it in our district. That's all I have to report. We have also had resolutions, which was part of the consent agenda items, and will be voted at that time. I have no other information on curriculum. Anybody, Mrs. Seawood, Pat, have anything for curriculum? Okay, so that being said, we'll go to item number 11. Public Relations Committee, Ms. Diane Solis. Unfortunately, Ms. Solis could not be here today. She's in the hospital. She had surgery, and as a consequence, we will not have a report from her. We'll move on to item 12, the Educational Service Commission of New Jersey. Mr. Caldwell also is not here today to report on the Educational Commission. He's out of state on a consulting job, and therefore is not here today. He will be here next month, hopefully. Item 13, the President's report. I'm the Vice President, and what I like to do is just make a comment. First of all, let me thank the administration and the faculty that's here today for having a successful school year starting. What I'd like to say is that I'm hoping that this year is a year where our administration, our faculty, and this board will have a greater initiative to get community and parents involved in the district in all aspects of the school district. As you can see, we have 360 kids come to the summer program from the reading initiative. We'd like to increase those numbers, and we're going to do that through contact with parents, and that's through mailing or other means. But it's important for us to, at least this year, do our best to get more commitment from the student, the faculties and the students to interact with the parents. I think the parents need to get more involved, and we need to go out and reach for them. So I'm hoping that this year we can get that going. That's all I have to say in that respect. Now we'll go to the public consent items. Comments? Comments? Sorry. Public comments on the consent agenda items? Yeah. No. Oh, okay. The mic's open, in other words. Please keep your comments to 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll make it quick. My name is Anthony Filardi. I'm a student at the New Brunswick High School.
Okay.
And last year, the Japanese teacher retired, and me and other students immediately tried to take action because I took Japanese 1 last year, so the graduation requirement was 2 years as far as I know. And it became impossible for me to continue Japanese because the school didn't hire another Japanese teacher after Ms. Sugimura retired. So I've been talking to Mr. Redler, and he's been supporting me. He's been I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
Take your time.
He's been supporting me and kind of being my light at the end of the tunnel, giving me some sort of hope that there might possibly be Japanese maybe next year, maybe this year, hopefully. And I just want to ask you guys to support him like he's been supporting me. That's it.
Mrs. Dr. Johnson, can you talk a little bit about the Japanese program?
We are working to see if we can fill that need. Of course, we need to find a teacher that speaks Japanese that's certified. At the same time, we need to boost our enrollment in students that want to take Japanese 1, 2, and 3 to continue. Sometimes we have some challenges in that area, but at this time, I know that, we've been looking for a Japanese certified teacher, which is a challenge at this moment, but we're going to continue to aggressively look. At the same time, we're trying to see if there's any alternatives that we can. So, yes, Mr. Redler has been knocking on my door. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nancy. So I had a question regarding Resolution AA. So what was the process of approving the law firm of McDermott, Mastro, and Murphy to represent the board?
That was just on a that's our contract negotiation law firm.
What was the process of choosing that law firm?
We've had them for many years.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Good evening, members of the board. Charles Cradaville from New Brunswick. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today. I want to start by saying I wish Ms. Solis well and speedy recovery.
Thank you.
And to your comments, Mr. Vice President, I think 2 good ways to get more community involvement. One would be to get these meetings televised on the cable access channel that the city does have, is not using, but could use. And I think that would be a way to make more people aware of the work that the board does and the good work that the staff and students are doing. A lot of towns, some of them smaller than New Brunswick, have had their Board of Ed meetings televised for well over a decade now. And I think it's time that New Brunswick gets with the program that does that. And you've heard me say that before, but I ask you to reconsider your decision on that. And well, the other way would be to, I guess, find a better way to deal with the press. Because also you've heard me say it before, but your company that you hired up in Bergen County is not doing the job. They're not working with our reporters to get stories out. And we're really at a loss of, how to cover the district, because a lot of times we get referred to this company that is really clueless and out of the loop and not helpful. So we end up having to speak directly to the members of the administration, and it could be easier if you had a public relations person rather than a kind of abstract firm that's not from around here. But I will ask about a couple quick resolutions. I see C and M are both dealing with the Health Sciences Technology High School, and I'd just like to understand a little more about that arrangement and who exactly runs the school and what companies are involved in that operation. Mrs. Skilson?
Nope.
Are you asking about the resolutions, or are you asking about the general relationship with IEP and New Brunswick?
More generally about the
there's
IEP, you said?
Yeah, that's the name of the company that runs the Science and Technology High School. They're a special provider of education and are under contract to pay us, we pay them money to run the school.
About how much?
It's about $3.2, $3.3 million a year.
And Robert Wood Johnson is involved, but are they just chipping in a kind of volunteer capacity, or are they also?
No, they own the land where the building is. They rent it to us for $1 a year.
Good deal.
And they also involved in the curriculum development because they're part of it. It's a collaboration.
Thank you. And so, Resolution AE, I see merit goals for the superintendent. Can you tell me what the merit goals are? Are they different than they were last year?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, I'll just briefly discuss, there's 5 merit goals. All are different except for one. The one that's consistent is student achievement in our formative assessment. So that's one goal where I want to demonstrate growth between 5 and 7 percentage points. Another goal is to increase our Algebra 1 performance on the PARC assessments. We're hovering around 16% in terms of students' proficiency, and my goal is to increase that as well, around 4 percentage points, 1 to 3, I believe. No, about 4 percentage points. The other is the district is operating on a chronic absentees rate of about 15%. My goal is also to decrease that absentee rate, which means really the kids need to be in school, so we need to build some strategies to ensure that. The other is taking a look at the internal evaluations of our directors and supervisors in terms of the form that's used to evaluate them, and I just want to align that with some of the other evaluation metrics that principals and vice principals use, which is tied to some type of student achievement. So we want to go back and just look at that. I think the evaluation form that we have used in the past is kind of antiquated, and it's just a quick checkoff. So that's a lot of committee work, a lot of conversations, and also a lot of conversation with supervisors and directors in regards to that. I do intend to continue to build an internal pipeline of future leaders. Last year, we built an Inspire Leaders campaign for teachers who wanted to be principals. We are continuing that this year. However, what's new this year is I'm continuing that for vice principals and supervisors who aspire to be principals.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Can I ask about the one before that, the trip to Japan? Can you tell me, the purpose for the superintendent going to Japan?
Mr. Johnson, please.
I was invited by our mayor, Mr. Mayor Cahill, who's leading a delegation of, I believe, city dignitaries as well as some other community people with Sister Cities. Sister Cities is one of our organizations that we actually work with where we send students to Japan, and actually students come from Japan to stay with us. So there is a delegation, and he sent me an invite, so I'm considering.
Okay. And can I get an update on the pre-K enrollment that I had asked about at the last meeting? Is there a more accurate figure?
We've seen a little improvement, Mr. General. You want to discuss on that? Mr. President, is that okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
And so as of today, we have 1,323 children enrolled.
Okay. And how does that compare to last year?
Well, last year, as of October 15th of last year, we had 1,379. So we have gotten very close to what our numbers are last year. So in the next month, I probably expect we'll have another 20 or 30 kids. So we are very close to where we were last year.
Thank you very much. Can I ask for an update on the matter with the charter school? I believe the board's retained outside counsel to challenge it.
The appeal is pending. Our council updated us recently that the briefs have been filed, but there's now response briefs due. He envisions oral arguments sometime in the spring.
Thank you. And I heard about solar panels, additional solar panels. I wasn't quite sure where those would be going, but can somebody speak to the existing ones and whether or not they've been profitable or positive for the district?
Frank, can you talk about that?
The solar panels, we have two sets, some of them through the ESA project, other ones were provided for us from Redshaw School for the School Development Authority. As far as our electric bills, and part of that deal was that we would get a reduced rate, and I don't know if Mr. General would be able to support me on that, but I believe that we have been paying less for energy than we had in the past. As far as where additional solar panels will go, that's what Mr. Spencer talked to about investigating other areas where we can provide these different locations, board office, parking lot, Redshaw School, there's still room on the roof over there, and a couple other further locations. Nothing set in concrete at this point, we're just exploring the possibilities.
Okay, and so for the existing ones, were there upfront costs for either of those two groups of panels?
No, there weren't. We get a reduced electric rate through the installation, and on the case of the ones on Redshaw, those were provided as part of the school construction.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thank you. And on the public relations, the two things you mentioned there, we'll take under advisement and have discussion on, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else? Okay. Yes.
Good evening to the Board of Education, President Caldwell, Vice President Ortiz, Mr. Hush, Mr. Spencer, Ms. Seawood, Sadowski, Varela, Chikaitis, and Souls. My name is Darwin Shank, or Skank, depends what side of the Brunswick you're on. I'm from one of the oldest African-American families in this town. Our ancestors started Mount Zion, were instrumental in Ebenezer Baptist and also First Baptist Church. I'm a pastor for 25 years and a paraprofessional at Woodrow Wilson. And tonight I come not to bombast you or bombard you or be belligerent, but to bless you. So I came to let you know that I've been praying for you all for quite some time. I come from an educational family. I couldn't get away from it if I tried. I told my mother, who was a kindergarten teacher for over 40 years, that I would never, ever be a teacher. I saw up and down, I would never, ever be a teacher. And I've been doing that now for about 20 years. So, good evening, and I just want to commend all the Superintendent Johnson, Board Secretary General, Javier Blanco, all department heads, administrative assistants, principals, assistant principals, counselors, social workers, reading and math specialists, coaches, teachers, substitute teachers, paras, nurses, culinary workers, custodians, security, students, parents, grandparents, guardians, aunts, uncles, cousins, and everybody who is somebody who helps raise our youth. I'd also like to say that shout out to Principal William Smith and Vice Principal Erica Campbell, the dynamic duo at Woodrow Wilson. Last March, I was in a major car accident on 295, going south on a Sunday, going to church, with a car going over 100 miles an hour. It could have been a day of mourning instead of a day of miracles. We live in a world of division, hate mongers, and separation instead of unity and love. A world of skepticism, so-called fake news, and I can't attitudes instead of more positivity and faith. In a world of alternative facts, racism, sexism, negatives, and prejudice rising at an all-time high, many throw in the towels and throw up their hands to a helpless and hopeless condition. Yet I come tonight not to criticize, but to lift up. I come to encourage you, the board and the president, vice president, and assistant superintendents, to encourage you, and also to any youth that are present, to be encouraged to strive for excellence and greatness, to aspire all those who come in contact with you. And everyone has a story, and yours is as important as anybody's to tell. Don't be afraid to fail. The only real failure is when you don't try at all. Always remember your breakdowns are only a setup for your breakthroughs. The Bible tells us to pray for one another, especially our leaders. So all of you are in my prayers. Know that each and every day that you have a prayer going your way. God bless you.
Thank you so much for those kind words, sir. And I want you to know that I wake up every morning with the thought, how can I improve the children of our community? What can I do? What more can I do? I've been a board member going on 20 years, and that's always been the number one thought in my mind. I don't aspire to be anything else in the city of New Brunswick in terms of a councilman or any politics. My whole thought is about the children in our district, and I mean all the children. I don't pick any group. I look at all our children, and I know that they all can learn if we just all give them a helping hand. So I thank you for those kind words, and we will do our best. And I think I can speak for the board when I say that we commit ourselves to helping the youth in our community. So thank you. Anybody else? Seeing no one, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda items? Second?
Second.
Mr. General.
Mr. Hush. Yes. Mrs. Seawood. Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela. Yes. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Move on to item 16, which is the Finance Committee. Mr. Sadowski's not here today, so who's presenting the, anybody's presenting the Finance Committee report? No one?
We just have a motion.
Okay. Can I get a motion to accept the Finance Committee report?
So moved.
Second? Mr. General?
Mr. Hush.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes, on page 5, abstaining from page 5. And the same from the C1.
So noted. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. We move on to item 17, which is the resolution for closed session. Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, New Jersey SA 1046, provides that certain matters of a public body may be discussed in closed session, and whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss matters as follows: 1, personnel matters, 2, matters of attorney/client privilege. Now therefore be it resolved that the aforesaid subject shall be discussed in closed session by the Board of Education administrative staff, and the minutes of said closed session discussion will be made available to the public when the reason for the non-disclosure in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act no longer exists. Can I get a motion to go into closed session? Second? Second. Mr. Jangron?
Mr. Hush. Yes. Mrs. Seawood. Yes. Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela. Yes. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
We're in closed session.
Thank you. We'll try to make this as short as we possibly can and come back out. Thank you.